Alright. Alright. Let's see here. I think we should be able to find the replay now. Poster. Okay, I'm about ready to go. Where are the replays? 1, 2, 3. 3 sets to go through. That should be good. I'm not sure if we'll get through all of them today, but it should contain enough information nonetheless. Considering we take so much out of like 3 first to 2 sets, 3 first to 10 sets should be plenty for us to manage. So hopefully we're going to be able to get through that. Or as much as we can, and be able to pick up some points from there. As well as that, welcome to the stream, everybody. Good to be back. I know it's been like 4 days since I last streamed. I've been quite busy. The weekend was quite busy. Then I've just been hanging out with my sister and everything. So busy times, but we'll be able to get through this. Don't you worry about that. I'm at work, but let's hope the internet is stable here. Okay, it does not switch into mobile data. Alright, welcome to the stream, Riodile. What's up? Hope you are doing well. And hopefully this isn't spending too much data, otherwise the VOD will be up afterwards. But I guess the benefit of being here now is that you can ask questions as we go along. So, that's still an option for you, but it is up to you. What does that one say? Ultra. In super. Okay. Let's get started. I'll do my best to identify any points that come up, but it'll be the same as the other, such as like the Crocodile one. I'll just try and pick out any points in particular. So this is you going for GTR here. Okay, nice. Do you do L shape actively? I want to learn what you build, because if you do L shape, you do L shape. Nice. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I need to get a feel for like your current style. Alright then, nah, don't worry. I say that sort of stuff often anyway. So ways to improve this build. Not really, you're just waiting for greens and I harassed. I don't know. There's gonna be a fair amount of times where I'm just gonna point out, hey, the thing is, you getting harassed there isn't really your fault, because when you're playing around people around that are more around your level, you won't run into people harassing you. So, you know, you probably don't need to worry about it. I will tell you how to dig out of this situation though. Let's go back a bit. Okay. Oh, slightly back. So if we go back here. And then we go to here. It's one of those difficult to grasp situations, but definitely try to look into how you can improve that tailing. Also, I mean not tailing, sorry, digging. We do have Raikon's digging guide available as an option if you want to further look into that, and written stuff is what you enjoy watching. But we'll draw this up so that I can show you what the dig would be, because it's it's probably quite a hard one to catch. Higher players aren't likely to harass you. Oh no, I meant people around your level are probably unlikely to harass you. Higher level players will just harass you like every 5 seconds. But ideally, what you're going to do is take these tips and then use them against people that hopefully you'll find some people around your level. Because the best way to improve, in terms of when you're playing, because when you're playing and then you're fighting a higher level person, you can make improvements. But when you're playing with people that are around your level, you'll be able to kind of like compare yourself against someone who's more similar to you. And because of that, you can really pick out what's different. Here you're just like, okay, the opponent's way better at harassing, they're way better at extending. Like, when I fight someone like Tom, I'm just like, okay, he's just much better at the game than me. And it's a bit hard to pick out what to get better at. Whereas when you're fighting someone who's around your level, it's someone who maybe will do little things that'll expose what's wrong with your gameplay, rather than it being like super dramatic. So you have something smaller to work with, you have a smaller scale to work with. And as such, whenever you get harassed, I'll say, okay, well here's the thing you could have done instead, so that you could take the harass better, or so that you could prepare something. But just know that these tips might not all be relevant when you're fighting people at your level, because again, it's sort of the stuff that you'll look into later on, and I don't want to overwhelm you with information. That's the main thing. I don't want to overwhelm you, because if I give you tips that'll like be applied way later and you start putting them into practice now, that's good, but it's just too much information at once, right? I feel like that might happen. It's a bit hard finding someone in my skill level. If you've gone a ranked, do you think ranked has found any people near your level? Because that could be a thing. Okay. Notice that the blues and the yellows are connected up at this point in time. Also notice you have a blue-yellow and a blue-red coming up. And this one's a tricky situation to identify, but I'll give it to you straight away. If you connect this one up as a blue-yellow here, and then you put the blue-red here, it's very situational because you've got perfect pieces for it, but at least would have given you a bit more of a opportunity to survive this attack. But I'll show you what it does. It goes like this: the blues connect up with this garbage, the yellows connect with this garbage underneath, and the reds will then connect. And you won't really be able to do anything after that. It'll be difficult to work your way out of this one. But it's at least something to show you that, like, sometimes when you're digging things, it's better to look for situations. Well, in general, when you're digging, it's better to look for situations where you'll do more than just like one chains. Here, how did you respond to this again? Yeah, you one chained out of that one, and then, you know, you receive all that garbage, and then it makes it way harder for you to dig. And so, you just gotta look out for those, like, that one's a tough one. I wouldn't expect people to usually see that one there. But it's an option. Just know that there are often more options than you realize for digging out of stuff. Let's see how you deal with this actually. Oh dear, that's a quite inconvenient garbage. That's a good way to get down. I like that 4 chain. That's solid. Good job. Very nice. Clearing that was rough. Also, that final piece placement as well. I'm going to go to that one. Okay, so obviously you probably would have avoided doing that. Like, you would have wanted to avoid doing that, which is fine. I misdrop too sometimes under pressure, so it's understandable. But I'll build this one up as well. Reds. Because we're just focusing on this side, I'll just build up this side since it's unnecessary to build up any more than this. Yeah, blue and then red. And this is an important point to bring up. You have a blue-red coming up. Just pretend you didn't clear this green-red or something. I think what a lot of people will go for, and I think what you went for, is this decision. And that's well and dandy. But the only way you can get yellows up here is if you get a double yellow, which is very situational. Again, you shouldn't rely on getting double pieces. The other thing you would have to do is put a yellow here, and then put some other piece here, and that's inconvenient. Unless you get a yellow-blue specifically, but you don't have a yellow-blue, you have a yellow-green coming up. So the only way that you're able to get yellows here is you put the yellow here and the green here, which is extremely inconvenient. You're under pressure, you're being attacked, and what you'd have to do is you need 2 blues here, right? And you need another set of greens, and you need to put something here to stop yourself from putting a green here, because like you can connect these up, but you can't connect this one up, right? And so you're trapped into this, like, you know, you can't put your pieces anywhere. But here's the decision that would have changed things. And this again is a very... It's not easy to see it when you're under pressure, but once you build up enough knowledge and you start realizing this happens more than you expect, you'll get better at recognizing this, and then you'll be able to avoid bad situations like the one I showed you. Here's what should have been done. This red, when you clear all this off, it will fall here, right? So the red that can connect it to it will be either here or here. It will be first column or second column, right? And so we use that property to our advantage here. You have a blue-red coming up. Instead of putting the red up here, consider putting the red here. And this is usually bad when you're building a proper chain, but like when you're under pressure and you have to finish your chain as fast as possible, this is the decision that will make it. The reason is that when you put your yellows up here, you have a yellow-green coming up. When you put the yellow here and the green there, it blocks the blues, but you can just set up more blues down here, right? You don't actually have a problem where you have an extra extension and then you need to get like stuff that will buffer down here. Well, you might need a bit of a buffer down here, but otherwise this is what you would have led to. And then after that you can put yellow with anything else on top. You have yellow red, you have yellow green, you have yellow blue, you can even get double yellow and you'd still be okay. And the only piece that you can't put here is green and blue. Every other piece with blue still works here, right? You can still put, so blue there, you can put yellow, you can put red, you can put, you can have a double blue and put a blue here. But this would be the situation that you run into instead of dealing with like everything that was horrible earlier. So just be careful and try to consider all the options and all the positions that you can place your pieces, because often there's more than one way to tackle this. Remember, like I've showed you, it was this one or this one, and this is just because, in case you couldn't visualize it, step here, as we mentioned, the red can also pop here. That's important to know so that you can set it up like this, right? So there's that situation. Again, it's very specific, but we'll try and find common themes if you're like missing these piece placements and such. But yeah. Hey Sono, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Puyo and Puyo 2 Game Gear sucks. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, and I wonder if you would have gotten your pieces, who knows? There was only one upcoming blue, so it's hard to tell. Alright, let's go and see what you build here. Ah, nice, nice. Okay. Okay, that's looking good. Here's something that, this is an important build choice. I'm not sure if you're going to do this again, but it's an important one for sure. Like that. I get panicked after so much garbage, so I don't see how to make more than one chains. A lot of players do that, so don't worry. It's not just you. It's just important to realize at a certain point that it's like, you know, it's gonna hurt if you don't get out of that habit, or like you don't try to stop yourself from freaking out. So keep thinking about stuff. Hey Cramsman, welcome to the stream. What's up? Please destroy and analyze me too. That is a request that I could fulfill at some point soon. Yeah, if you do want to do this as well, anyone else is watching at the moment, if you'd like me to go ahead and analyze you and critique you for everything, because I don't do that about anything else, I'd be happy to at some point. It's just, maybe I should do, maybe I should send a post out on Twitter and like get people, like get a list of people who want to do this, so I can make this like maybe I should do it as a weekly thing or something. Maybe one of my Puyo streams per week will be an analysis stream and the other one will be like for my own gameplay. I don't know, I feel like that could be really beneficial to people. I'm not sure how many people would be interested, but I feel like there could be a fair amount, so we'll see. Alright. But yeah, sometime let me know and I'll be able to help you out. Stacked high with the intention of avoiding damage? Yeah, that makes sense. It's hard, it is hard. Hello Fables, welcome to the stream. Sad thing is that I might not be able to get PPC Switch. Really? What's the matter with that? Why will you be unable to? And if so, there might be someone who could get it for you, because he's been like handing out free copies. I don't want to add too much pressure on him, so it's like question mark. I meant to do flat stack on that right side. Yeah, that's That makes a lot of sense, and it's like mine too. But you've got a slightly different situation here. Let's see, you could do that. I was thinking about it, yeah. It's like how artists take commissions. I won't charge any money for it. I don't want money for it. I just want to help people improve. So I won't be charging any money or anything. It'll just be like commissions where, like, you know, I'll take an amount of people who want to do it at a certain time, and then I'll like leave it for a bit. I'll do it. I'll work my way through the list and then call out a new batch of people to do. So it could work. It could work. See, Puyo touches and destroy. Alright, so the decision here ideally is this one looks okay. And usually it's okay, but it's okay with blue or green. Or purple in this case. There's no green in this game. The reason that yellow... okay, yellow can work. But the problem is that if you do this, or if you like to do this shape here, I'll do it with a normal piece first. You like to do this shape, because I'm guessing you know how to tail off of this, right? This is the reason you're doing it. It's because you like avalanche tailing. That's good. It's very nice. There's no green. I should stop doing that. But the thing with yellow, again, I think you see this, but if you do this, you can't put a yellow there. You can put a yellow here, but that makes it really awkward to tail, because what will happen is that you have a 2 height difference now. Here, it's like 2 height difference, 2 height difference. And I'm not sure if you were here for Pokedalga's analysis, but this is an important point to bring up. You want to have good board balance. If it's got like this many gaps between the highest point of the board and like this point, it's scary. So this it does feel a bit awkward to bulk up your chains, but this one is actually a good decision to make. Place your pieces like this, and this looks bad, but notice that you can still tail completely the same way and perfectly fine. So you can... There's no green! Yoshi! Alright. You can build like this. Again, it's just one simple decision that you need to consider while building these chains. Got PPT 2 months before, and it's not that I have no money, it's because my mom has to accept the money. I don't know if she'd allow it since I got PPT 2 months before. Oh, I see. Well, this one's only $15, so maybe you could get away with this. 2 months, $15. I feel like that's reasonable. But I kind of get where you're coming from, because my parents were also, like, a bit picky with how much I could buy. In like a certain time frame as well. I always felt like that too. I always felt like, you know, I had to wait a certain time before I could get the game. But otherwise, we could try to get some help for you to get onto that, being able to get the game still. You can also fancy tail with something like that, but we won't go into that. There's no need. That's what I'm going for, but I didn't notice the yellow. Oh, no problem, no problem. You know, sometimes you don't notice things, but I just wanted to point this out because it's an important point to bring up. I was rotating it wrong. It was like either like that or make it flat. And this seems weird, but again, just remember that this is a good position. This is actually quite nice. This is perfectly fine. In fact, it might even be a stronger shape in some aspects. But it all just depends on what you want to go for. Anyway, we'll see what your next decisions are. Hi Alice, welcome to the stream. Yeah? Yes, nice. This should be used for your transition. That's good, that's good, that's very good. I like this build. I think this is where you realized that you had a bit of trouble there. That's okay. Huh. I'm guessing at this point you're a bit confused as to what to do next. This is... Right, this is how we're looking right now. Red, blue, red. I'm just guessing, like, at this point you're not sure what to do. What's my suggestion? Red, blue, you know what? You know what? A lot of people get scared of clearing things, but I think here it actually would be better than just, like, leaving that there. What you should do instead is, I think, just clear this. Clear this. This, it's like, it's just scary, because if you like start building up a chain and then you somehow end up accidentally putting a blue here, you can cut this very easily. So I think at this point, and like this is actually not a bad position to be in. Like having some L shapes on top of your, here, I'll show you what you can do with L shapes. Because a lot of people miss out on extra extensions with L shapes here. A lot of people will just go, okay, I can just feed this on, right? and that's okay too usually. But what else you can do is you can set it up so you have something on top. You make the yellow clear first, then the red, and then the blue, and it seems like it's a bit much work to go for, but if your tail is high, something like this can help like a huge amount in being able to get to where you want to be. In terms of like how high the stuff on top of your transition is. And I'll show you how this one works. Yellows, then the reds link up afterwards. So sometimes, just because things are set up in this way, that doesn't mean that the red, it doesn't have to go from right to left. It can go from left to right. No green, right, there is no green, but I think you understand. You can put purple here, you can put blue here as well. When I'm using green, it often just means like, it's any color that would make sense to go here, but I'm just using green so that we don't get confused, because it's a new concept, I guess. Like, if we're introducing a new concept, I guess it's fine to do this, but just know, it'd be blue or purple. I'm sure you guys know that. Like, you wouldn't be able to put reds here, you wouldn't be able to put yellows there, like, you guys have brains, right? So, it's okay. It's okay. Just need to make the tail, and then I saw the yellows, and then I went, uh-oh, I messed up. Well, I'll show you two ways around this. One is, as I've mentioned, you can, I'm not sure if I actually mentioned this one. If you do end up doing that, cover this, and then set up your yellows. Then you can just continue tailing like normal. That's fine. Or you can be fancy and do something, I don't know. There's a lot of things you could probably do to fix this. It's just, again, they're usually quite complicated. Something like this works. Yeah. Then you can tell normally from here, except again, this is quite complicated. I'll show you how it works, just so you have the concept in your mind. But the idea... that does link up, okay. Here's an idea I discussed with Pokemon's stream. So consider that you put a green on top, right? And you can't clear the yellow yet. Find a way to clear the green first, right? So notice that when you clear the shape, you'll end up with a green here and a yellow here. So how can you clear the green first? One option is to do this. You could like set up the greens like this and then maybe put this around it, right? So you could do this. But this is an awkward shape. That doesn't look very good. And so you start brainstorming ideas. Here's a little thing that you guys should experiment with. If you're looking at how to make tails, it's a good idea to just give yourself a couple of pieces and see what you can do with it. Like here, you can set up 3 there. You can do this. This is the basic avalanche tail, right? But think of a situation such as this. How can I clear the green first before I clear the yellow, right? And if you just kind of start thinking about the way that shapes work, you also consider stuff like this. So we thought about this one, right? You thought about this one, that's fine, right? But then, this, and this is the important thing. This is a shape that works. Right? Like this, or you can put the yellow here, or you put the yellow wherever you want. But the important thing is that the greens can link up like this. This is another way to tackle the situation. And so we're gonna think about this and plop it down here, right? So, right? This is the idea. Greens like this and yellows like this. So far, we just have a yellow and a green, right? So we need a yellow here. You need the greens to wrap around. And then you need 2 yellows somewhere. You can have them here. You can have them here. Oh, wait. I put an extra green there. What was the extra green? What am I doing? What? Oh, yeah. This is one of the things that just makes it look weird, but it's not fun. Oh, no! Wait, what did I do? Oh, no. Oh... This is silly. Huh. That wasn't right. Well, you can do this, but it powers. I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, I see. This is the shape we're going for. Right. Okay. I apologize for that. It took me a moment to process. But tails are complicated, right? I swear it was cleaner than that, but it doesn't matter. This does just show off the fact that you can do this though. Right? Technically it's this, but this is already down here. So, if we clear this, I know there's no green, but this can be, again, purple. Oh, I think it can only be purple. Yeah. Oh, it can be blue. Never mind. It can be purple or blue. So we do this. This, and then you see here, as I mentioned, the greens will link up in the shape that we just proposed. Greens and then yellows. So tells like this can help you get around situations that you'd think are bad, and usually they are, but this is the main thing. Don't think you always have to go for the next link straight away. Sometimes you can create links in between like this, like how I just showed you. And these can save your life sometimes. Right? Oh, whatever I showed you earlier. Anyway, it's hard to do in-game, so this is the sort of stuff you'd experiment with. Oh no, low battery. Well, it's okay. We can switch controller if we need to in the middle of this one. We're not actually playing. So this is the important thing to take away. That I just said. And obviously it's not easy to do in-game, but do it in like solo or practice or against the CPU. Set a chain limit. Do whatever you want to, so it's all good. I want to screenshot that. Oh, which one? Well, this is the case that we're given. But I'll do it with green because, again, green is the thing we're highlighting. I know there's no green, but like... and then it was... That wasn't right. That's right. This works. Because then it gives you the shape. Here, if you want to take a screenshot of this might help. I'll go look at the chat now. No blue. Yeah, oops. Stream is lagging my end. Refresh my mobile. This is better. Okay, cool. Can you watch recorded matches as well, like Puyo GB videos? If it's on their channel, I'll have to ask K permission first to use them. But if so, then I should be able to review those matches too. I wonder if he'd appreciate that actually. If I did analysis videos for his he might appreciate it. Screenshot taken? Awesome. Right, let's move on to the next decision. Because again, look, this is a 3 first to 10 sets, but I'm taking like 20 minutes to analyze just the second match. So notice that again, a lot of these things will be, I won't get through many of the sets that we play, but there's still a lot that you can take out of just little decisions such as that. We'll see where this goes next. Alright. And then at this point, I think you've just tried to figure out what you wanted to do. Oh? I'm guessing that's you under pressure. I thought you'd link up the reds maybe, but I think you're just trying to go for your purple, right? And that's good. You can take the garbage, you can set up your reds, and then you can clear that, and you'll be happy. Oh, you missed shot. Aww. It's alright. It's fine. Cool. Give credits to Puyo GB. Yeah, I would. I would need to ask permission, and I'd need to ask who wants their matches analyzed. Okay, here's an important thing. I think I understand. You're gonna go for sandwich, right? Let me check how you build your sandwich first. Okay. This is a rough one. I'll head to the start then. I forgot the X? I see. You did? Right, okay. This is an important thing. Not splitting your pieces too much. We'll discuss this again as last time. Blue, red. You have a blue coming up. You can use that blue here. And the reason you don't want to split it is because otherwise you're creating too many piece dependencies. With this, you only need 2 more blues. With this, you need 3 more blues here somehow, and you need 3 more blues here somehow as well. You need 6 more blues to finish your chain. And so it's much more beneficial to end up only needing 2 for your chain instead of 6. I just wanted to cover that one quickly because it's a point that makes a lot of sense. And it's just a quick thing. It's like, try to use your pieces together as much as possible. Also, it's a yellow-red. Usually I'd say do your transition fast, but considering how scattered your chain is, you want to complete it as fast as possible. So with your current thing, you've got yellow red, which is perfect for what you need here. Then you have red blue and double yellow, right? So you can go red blue and double yellow. And you haven't got your transition ready, but at least you're finishing this up. And, you know, finishing all these little gaps in your base that you'll still need to fill if you do your transition fast. Which is, these ones, like, just something like this is very difficult to deal with. That's one of the reasons that I'm switching away from sandwich, amongst other reasons. It's the fact that you just need so many pieces to be in the right places, right? There is nowhere that green can be in here. So it's very specific. But yeah, there's that for you as well. I was avoiding this a bit too much just so I can make fast chains. Right. But that's the important thing. It's realizing at what point is it more beneficial to go for speed over like a clean chain, because a clean chain will beat out a fast player. Technically, if a person is faster and makes a chain, the person who makes a cleaner chain will have more space because they haven't wasted as much space, and also they just won't be screwed by the RNG much. People who do this, they're like, oh no, I'm getting screwed by the RNG all the time, I can never build my chains properly. It's because of the build order. I think that's the thing. The build order is what's screwing people over, not the RNG. And so people fail to realize this a lot of the time, and this is why I'm doing these. Just so you can realize, you know, what are your mistakes. If you're not able to pick up on them, I'll pick up on them for you, right? It's nice. Lydia's back after a freaking month or so. Welcome back. Hello, it is wonderful to have you back. Hello again. So no. Interesting? Yes, it is an important thing to think about. Alright, so there's this. Again, this is another thing where I'm like, you need specific pieces to finish your chain, and I'm not sure if you usually build this or not, and maybe that's why you didn't think of you doing that. Let's do that. You have a double yellow, and then you have a double green, and then you have a yellow blue. Again, this is just looking at your next pieces. It's very important to do so, as we've mentioned, and just like everywhere. These double yellows could have been put here. Oh, that's a blue. I was thinking like that wouldn't have worked, but no, that's okay. The double yellow should have gone here. Your double green should have gone here to finish your GTR, and then your blue yellow should have gone here. That way, most of your base is complete now. If you get rushed and you're in that position, it's very, like, the position in the replay, it's a much harder to finish your chain. Whereas if you have this, you only need one blue, and I know 3 reds is a lot, but like, that's really all you need left, right, to finish your chain. So again, balancing how much of your base you're completing and continuing to extend it on the head of your chain is very important, because sometimes you have a situation where you were given a choice, and going for one of the choices will serve you better in the future than another. And this is one of those cases where you have a specific piece, or you have specific pieces that can finish your chain. Use them now, or you will suffer later. That's the problem here. It's that you're not recognizing those situations. But of course, if I hadn't pointed them out, you wouldn't have known. So now you know. This one I'm not sure what you decided to do, because you could have used that yellow there, but then now you've run out of yellows since you've cleared them all. It's like, uh-oh. Oh, this is fine. That's okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's extending on the front of the chain is fine there. Good. Yes, put that there. Oh, again. I think you're using that for your tail, but in this case, it's better to use it on the front end of a chain. I think it's more obvious this time. Just put the yellows together. You can put the red in column 4 and the yellow in column 3, just so that the yellows are together. You'd have to be careful of trying not to cut your red and your green in your base, but it's a better position. It's a better position. Deep thinking is happening faster than my eyes can comprehend. Oops. Yeah, all of this again. When you're playing the game, everything happens in a split moment, which is why players need to build. That's why you need to play the game so much. It's because you need to build up the muscle memory to know, okay, this is the decision I need to make right now in this 1 second, while I'm trying to consider what my next pieces are going to do, while I'm considering what the opponent's going to do, and what I'm going to do about what they're going to do to me. And there's a lot going on, and it's okay. If you're learning, take your time. Don't rush. Take the time to develop habits that will serve you well. If you play fast, but you make bad decisions all the time, your habits are going to grow in such a way that they're going to just stop you from improving. They'll be like, okay, I'm used to doing this, and now that I'm used to doing this bad decision, or used to making this bad decision, I make it all the time, and it's really hard to get out of it. And it impedes your progress overall in being able to improve at the game. So take your time with learning things. There's no need to rush. It takes time to improve. So properly use time, right? Hashtag facts. I like facts. You're teaching how to play Puyo? How nice. Yeah. There's not enough people around the community who are... Well, there's a few people, but the fact of the matter is that there's not enough people trying to get out there and really go deep into how people can improve. And so a lot of players are hitting walls and they're like, I don't know how to improve. And the problem with that is that often if you hit a wall and no one's there to help, it's hard to motivate yourself to keep moving. And so a lot of people just drop the game, or they're like stuck forever. And just a little poke or a few tips given by another player can mean the world to you. I know that as a fact. Like, when people have picked up on my mistakes on how to improve, it's like huge. It's things, sometimes you need other people to give you the tips to improve. Like, a lot of the time, learning will come by yourself. Like, in my case, I've learned most of the stuff I know by myself. But by watching other players and getting advice from other players, you're gonna improve a whole lot faster than if you like experimented everything on your own. Of course, still practice on your own. Do your own stuff. Please. Don't just do GTR. If you are learning the game, try not to fall into the GTR trap, otherwise you won't be able to do anything else. That's one of the issues that a lot of people fall into. One of the traps. It is better as a trigger after all, that's right. If I use that red-yellow as a trigger, I'd put it as my sandwich, that'll be the trigger. Right. Better to have my habits pointed out so I know what to change. That's right, if you get onto your habits earlier, you'll be able to fix them earlier, and so they wouldn't affect you in the long run. What if my habit is just placing Puyos in the third column? Oh, then you just need to, like, practice not putting your pieces there. I really suck and I'd like to improve. Hey, well, I'm here to help. Spend the past week playing through Cuphead on Switch. Oh, nice. GTR probably way too much. Yeah, don't worry. You can work on like doing what you like. I have been sticking to GTR so much for the past couple months, but since I've already developed how to use GTR, it's just a matter of how do you extend off GTR. And it's weird. A lot of people are like, okay, I can do GTR now. I can extend off of it. Easy peasy. My life is done. I can move on to the next form. I'm still here, using GTR, trying to find ways to not cut my GTR or like how to extend off of it. There are so many possibilities with one form that people don't realize. So sometimes you don't need to go look for another form. Just look for what you're already doing wrong with the form that you're using. Then move on to the next form. It's like trying to learn a language. And then you're like, okay, I know how to do like basic. I have a basic understanding of this language. Let's go to the next language. Well, I think you all know what the flaws with that would be. So, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm going to drink some water and then we're going to keep watching. Yeah, here again. You're putting the yellows as your tail, but it's very dangerous. That's also a very dangerous way to block yourself to continue extending as well. I'll just build this up a bit. Blues. And then blue, red. We won't talk about this stuff. But considering that... Oh, wait, with the blues here. Considering that the yellows will be your trigger, doing this... I put my pieces in the wrong place. No, that's meant to be red down there. That's meant to be blue. Okay. Doing this it's very hard to get out of this. You need 3 blues and 2 yellows. So there are safer ways to block this off. If you had like a yellow here, then maybe you can put this here. Then you can just connect 2 greens, have the yellow on top or something. But this just completely blocks anything you had, so you have no way to react. You probably want to connect up 3 yellows before you block anything off. If you want to extend on the side, you can maybe do it here, and then at least you still have the gap to put your yellows in. But like just blocking it off completely like this is very dangerous. So I recommend against doing that. The best I can do is a 7-chain with stairs, if I'm really lucky. Fair enough. Well, if you've developed a good understanding of stairs, I recommend going into the next chain. I've already talked about my tutorial series, right? So yeah, look into doing sandwich next if you are confident with stairs. Let's see. No idea why I thought of that. It's okay. It happens. Okay, so now you're waiting for... Oh dear. I think at this point again you've just freaked out. Oh, you can get out of that. Yes, we're on low battery, you know. Here's what was it? I can't talk sometimes. It's important to realize when you have alternatives. So let's put up on top of this. Blues, reds, yellows. You have these reds here, right? And then you have a whole bunch of just... I'll literally put garbage here because you have garbage blocking the way. You have little nothingness over here. So, you have red, yellow given to you. The best option would have actually been to go for red here and use this as your new trigger. The stuff here could have been your trigger, but it's now garbage. You need too many pieces to finish it. So doing this and then putting a blue on top of here would be your key to victory. Setting off this red, then the yellows, then the blues. All the stuff here you can disregard because you've been given a red, yellow just before. So you could have gotten out of that one with that. Can't even do stairs. Stairs is not necessary to learn, but it's more so we teach it as the first thing to... It's the first thing that we teach because it's the easiest chain form to understand. It's like there's 3, then 1 on top. The next one is also 3 with 1 on top. It's the same thing over and over, and there are groups of 3 plus 1. It's very easy. Well, I'm not saying that you should catch it straight away if you've never played Puyo before, but for the most part, if you just look at it, it's very logical compared to other chaining forms, or like tailing, which is completely absurd, because then you need to start understanding height differences and everything, which is like, I can't do that. But with stairs, it's just like, oh, here's some stacks, here's how the stacks link up to each other, try it yourself. And of course, concepts by themselves are usually not very helpful, and that's why stairs is hard to make, because you need such specific pieces to make it, but it introduces fundamentals and some very important concepts, and like it just gives people a basic grasp of how to chain, and that's why we teach that as the first thing. So you don't need to know how to do stairs, as long as you know how chaining works. You should be fine. That's literally what stairs teaches. Pieces fall, they will link up together, boom, you have a chain. Puyo GB. Oh yeah. I was gonna sign up for the FIFA League for the Puyo GB, but I need to go get enough money. I need like another $5 on Steam to buy the game, so I need to go get into that sometime soon. Oops. And then I'll sign up. Learn GTR and then bits of sandwich. Why not plug your charger cable? The charger cable doesn't reach far enough from my Switch to here, because my Switch is like, I'm actually not in... Unlike most people who stream, they're not like in their room with a monitor or anything. I'm using a TV out in the living room, and then I have stuff connected up, and I'm sitting actually quite far from my Switch, so I won't be able to plug it in. Oh, I can plug it into the computer, but then I have to disconnect my mouse, so I'll do that later. If like it runs out of battery or something. Should learn stairs more than perhaps. The one I need to learn is switching from 112 and 103, and then... Yep, okay. 211, 112, and that's what I was displaying here, I think. It's this thing. Blues, yellows like that. So going from oopsies, this one. Come on. I forgot if you go from the top to the bottom. 3-1. No, it's 112, to 1. I always forget how it goes. I think it's 103, and then again it's 211. It doesn't matter the terminology, but like this, I'm guessing this is what you're troubling with. This is quite. Don't get the sandwich number thing. This is how it works. It's one piece. We'll call this color 1. We'll call the second color 2. And then it's 1 1. No, sorry. That's not how it works. I completely erase that. That's wrong. 1 of a color, 1 of another color, 2 of a color. 2 of a color, 1 of a color, 1 of a color. 1 1 2. 2 1 1. I never understood why they made it like this. It's very confusing. And then 103 is just strange. 103. Why did they say 103? This one's weird. This like 1 or 0, and then there's 3 here because there's like 3 together. This is 103, I think. I think this is 103. And then, see, even I don't know, because this terminology is just weird. You don't need to know the terminology. You're fine. Like, I'm just showing for anyone who's curious. And I think this is 301. Because it's 3. But the thing is, you're not in 1 column anymore. You're thinking about, what, 2 columns? Maybe that's why they have 0. Because, like, you're thinking between 2 columns. But there's 301. Anyway. You don't need to apologize. It's a good point to bring up. It's just, maybe we will eventually need to fix up the English terminology. Because it's a bit confusing for people to grasp. 112, 211 you should be able to understand. The reason I was able to remember that is that 3 1 stairs is this. 3, and then 1. And then 3, and then 1, and then 3, and then 1. Like, it's upwards. You look up. You counter upwards. Anyway. That was the decision I wanted to point out for that situation. Oh! Oh, never mind, you got it. I didn't need to tell you that one. You actually got that decision. Good job. Well done. Congratulations. Actually, I'm so sorry for... Yeah, good job. Give Riodile a round of applause. That was well played. Good job. That's still a 10 chain. That's solid. Against most players, they won't expect you to get a 10 chain in that sort of situation. Alright, let's see what you do here. 1-3 conflict. I'm gonna go over this one quickly again. This is another thing that a reason why I've been avoiding GTR into sandwich. Because this is bad. If you accidentally add a red there, you're dead. Because again, the red will link up here. If you add a red here, bleh, not good. And in general, this is just try to avoid putting... Oh no, it's not even that piece, sorry. It's this piece. This is the trouble piece. This is the trouble piece. If you put a red here, then it becomes a problem. It's difficult to avoid this conflict. It looks like it's very situational, but it's like... This will happen more than you realize. Like, it's unsafe. So, instead, given that you had a green-blue, and I know this is going against what I said earlier, but remember, some decisions are situational. So usually I'd say, oh, you know, you should finish your transition fast, but this is another case of don't finish your transition fast. Go for what will be safer and what will end up making your chain more stable in the long run. So the blue-green, although you're splitting the blue up, at least you're still making use of the green. So put the blue-green over here, or like however else, but like use it over here somewhere instead, because otherwise you're going to end up with that conflict. Big chains, you know? Big chains are difficult for me to make. I still haven't made a 16 in a real chain. I'm in a real game and I'm sad, and I will eventually, I swear. Yeah, if you do L shape, it's usually not as big of an issue. But then you did that, so then it's more problematic, and yeah, it's just a bit scary. Okay, I don't know what you were going for there, but I think it might be 2-2 stairs if you're gonna erase those purples. If you want to do something like that, I recommend against doing 2-2 stairs. I think that might be a thing a lot of people need to get rid of. Don't do 2-2 stairs unless you're Mucky, because then you can make everything work, because he's crazy and I don't understand him and he is amazing. Oopsies, this is a green. Boo, boo. This is yet another case of if you have your pieces... Wait, what was connected to that red again? I don't know. But I'll give you what I would have recommended doing instead. You have purples here, but you can use them last. Put the blues together, put the reds together, and then put the purples together. Like this. Something like this would be okay. Maybe flatten it out. Like maybe put another purple here to make this flat. But what this does is... Oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put a garbage piece here. But you're connecting the blues before the reds and then the purples last. Because the purples are just inconvenient in that case. Otherwise, again, reason why 2-2 stairs is bad to do off of sandwich is because you end up with the 6th column not being used very much. And so a lot of people will just put garbage pieces here, which is less than preferable. Right? If you do L chain, then what now? Oh, sorry. If you do L shape, then you avoid this conflict. But if you do this, then you end up putting the green there, and it's bad. If you want to do this and make these the same color, do L shape. But just be mindful that you can cut it by putting a green here. It's less risky, but it is still risky to do. Right, okay. That's right, it would work if the purple was horizontal. That's right, that's right. Absolutely. Please do the thing. Okay, here. If you're gonna end up with this conflict, you can put... The best piece to put here is not red. It's either purple or blue. Blue, I think I usually go for more. I don't remember why exactly. But green. Purple, put the blue-green like this. That way you can just, I don't know, put an L shape on top of it and go, wee, and put this here, and then build the rest of your chain instead of having that conflict there. Or you can do universe. Because... why not? Wee. Wee. No, don't do universe. It's... Unless you're Tom, it's never gonna work. No, sometimes you can make it work, but like that's just silly. That's me playing around. Alright. Uh-oh. You might even run into the kind of color conflict here, and we'll see it in action, like the cut. I think you just got stuck here, huh? Funnily enough, it would have been a better time to harass than ever. You did have, like, reds here. No. Yeah, that was where the reds were. Oops. Reds here, and then reds here. And then you had, like, greens. So you could have set off a thorn with the green and the red. That would have been really delicious, actually. Would have sent me to death, because I'm nearly dead right now. But, yeah. I think you just got stuck and freaked out. Uh-oh. Then my chain didn't even work. Sad face. Right, next one. Splitting your chain up like this is always risky, because it's hard to connect it back up. I think this will be a key finding now. Avoid splitting commitments. And what I mean by commitment, a commitment is where you set up a piece so that it has to be an extension. Right? So in this case, consider you get a blue-purple. If you use this for the transition, you're just continuing what you've already committed. But if you put this blue and this purple here, it is a commitment because you're committing to creating 2 extensions. 3 which require 3 blues and 3 purples, right? I don't know why I spaced it out like that, but apparently it came out like that. If you split your commitments too much, you're gonna need too many pieces and you end up with piece dependency, where you require a certain amount of pieces to finish your chain, and it'll be too much. You won't be able to get all your pieces in time. And also just because it will inconvenience you, because you won't be able to slot other pieces in, like reds here probably. So you should commit to different colors across different areas rather than splitting the same color across like different areas. Try to keep as many of like one color in one place, except where it's gonna cause cuts like this. Then split it. But yeah, that's one key finding which is very important. Too much splits, right? And the reason I say that is because, yeah, that's what you should have done with the earlier piece. You got the piece eventually, but that's what you should have done with your earlier piece. Then it's just a bit awkward because I start harassing you a whole bunch. So it's a bit rough. Then it's a bit hard to get out of this. Oh, I think you didn't realize what you were meant to do with that, but if you had kept it rotated the way that you had it before, then you would have been better off. Not erase all. If you had put the green in column 4 and blue in column 5. And then I continue to harass. Yeah, you would have had a 4 chain otherwise, which would have kept you alive for at least a little longer. Alright. There's that one. Oh, exactly a star too. That's always just pleasant to see. I like seeing perfect garbage amounts. Good, good. Oh. If you want to go for L shape, that's okay. I would have done something else, but that's because I think differently. Okay, that works, that works. I know I ended up harassing here, and it looks like I just finish you off. But let's think about that build order. That's good, that's good, that's good. Here's the thing you can consider. I'm not sure if... No, we saw you do it earlier, so here's a build decision. If you get a bunch of doubles, this is a very useful form to use. If you, you should flat stack with this. Considering you have a double green coming up, the best... you can do what you did, and do this and use the double green. That's fine, but a lot of the time you'll forget and you'll go, hey, guess what? It's 2-2 sandwich. The ideal would be to create L shape with this. That's good. But otherwise, think about this decision, because this is a bit more specific, and it'll work towards your cause quite nicely. If you set up the yellows horizontally like this, we do have a green here, then you have double green. You can split this across here, and then you can put your red and your green here. Oopsie, that red's meant to be there, and this green's here. And then you can use this space. In case you're unaware of what to do, you can put this here, or you can put this here, and then you can tail around that, and it's really nice. But that's what I would do instead. Don't know where else to put the yellows. That's still okay. That's still okay. It's still workable because again you can do a thing with it. This is an important thing that came out with Riodile. This is where you create a gap that is unnecessary. I mean, not a gap. It's a hole. You have a 1 deep hole, which seems okay, but the only pieces you can use to fill this hole are double pieces. If you put any other color piece with another color, you're going to end up making this hole like the hole will still stay there, right? And that's a problem, because you want to make sure, unless you're doing a link like this, then it's completely fine, but otherwise you want to make sure that these are level. Having your GTR be level is like, it helps your building a lot. Usually. So keep that in mind. Instead, put your red here, and put your blue here. I know it's weird to just leave a blue out here, but it's better to have this like flat area than to just be like, hey, now we have a hole here, right? I think I missed the splitting commitments part. Oh, that's basically, don't put too many, okay, I'll re-explain it. Given that you had a blue-red coming up, right? Use this on the GTR and you're continuing. If you use this over here, you're committing to creating 2 more extensions, which require 3 blues and 3 reds, plus you need to finish these 2 blues here and these 2 reds here. So what I mean by saying that is that you don't split too many pieces in too many different places, or at least don't split colors that are the same into different locations, because then it just means you need more colors here and more colors here, when you could have linked this up here. It's more obvious with a blue-red, but blue and anything else you still use here, unless the situation says not to, because a lot of the time I've been saying don't finish your GTR just yet, but it's a general point to work on. So trigger for GTR should be left flat. Yes, a lot of the time it's far easier to build your GTR when it's got a flat stuff, when it's flat. If it's got this, the height difference is very awkward to deal with. More water. I have to grab more soon. Alright. This is where I would have... Again, this is another split commitments thing. You have a yellow, and now you're forcing yourself to use more yellows. Right? Now you need 3 yellows here, and 2 yellows here. When instead, you could have just ended up putting it here. And how I recommend doing that is yellow, blue here, and that can just do that. Otherwise, you can do this, but then you have this awkward gap which you can only fill with yellow, blue, which is bad. So, yellow, blue here is the preferable decision. Alright, what is up next? Here, that's fine. I wouldn't say go for that one. I'd say... Because again, this is height difference thing where if you have things way higher than others, then you know you've got a problem. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 higher. To avoid doing that, simply put your red down here and put the yellow here. That's much nicer to deal with. Then you have a red-yellow coming up, you can just put the red here and the yellow here. Right, so that you're putting the yellow to use here and then evening this out. I'm not sure what you started going for there, but given what you already had... Oh. Red-green, right? I think it was red-green. Given this... Yellow, yellow. Because that's fine. Oh, whoops. There's a red here. You have a red-green. Wait a minute. That doesn't... Oh, that was the issue. Maybe. Oh, no. Green, red. Green, red here. Green, red here. You can still tail with this shape. All you have to do is insert that there, insert that there, and do that. That's how you can tail with L shape. It's one of the ways you can tail with L shape. So, if you have a piece that is green and something else, know that you can put it like this. It feels weird at first, but once you realize that it's all a part of this shape, and that you can tail with it really easily, then it'll become much more effective. I know putting it here otherwise would look weird, but know that that's the case. We'll make the green on column 3 as a safety trigger in case of harassments. Huh, hold on, let's have a look. Huh. I see, although that, again, is in a bit of a trouble position. Alright, and then here is just me being mean and finishing you. I tend to do that. Alright, next up is... Oh, long GTR? Alright, alright. Haven't seen long GTR in a while. Yeah, that's good. Those are good build decisions. I like those a lot. Instead of buffing that... Oh, you could... Actually, I'd end up clearing that later. Yeah, okay, let's go back a bit. Let's go back a little bit. That is... Okay, so the start was very good. I like this a lot. I would say... yellows... Purple... Blue-green. I'd say, considering you have blue-green down here, you can do blue-green again. What do you have against the wall? Purples. Then you can easily finish this and go, come on, let me select purples. Purples here, and then greens. And then you can tail off of that if you want to, or do whatever. But this is more like what you want to do with this green-blue. Instead of doing that, because that is easy to cut. If you put anything up here which has blues fall here, or like if you have it here and then there as well, you're going to cut this easily. So try to avoid as many 3 of one color links in the base. That's a general tip. Buffing stuff is nice, but if it's easier to cut because it's like in the middle of the field, for example, and it's part of the base, then you want to avoid it. Okay. Clear that, that's fine. I'm not sure where that's gonna go. I'm guessing that's just because you don't know what to do exactly. It's a bit hard to think far ahead with that. And then you're just waiting for yellows? Oh, I thought you'd wait for your yellows. Huh. Alright. Oh, did you end up getting the... Yeah, you should have used that yellow to pull that one off. Alright. So don't put 3 points together too often. Don't... well, you can, but not when it's like sticking out like this. This is one example. Another really good example is when you do GTR with sandwich. You don't want to be creating links like this. This. Especially if you made your whole base like this, you are like 90% guaranteed to cut your chain. Like, this is a nightmare if I ever saw one. You put a blue here, you put a green here, you put any yellow here, like any spare piece. And even the ones that come next to it, if you think about it. If you think about it like that, this could also cut your chain. Easily. Because if we look at that, when the blues link up, the greens and yellows will cut, and the rest will just not work at all. So this is like absolute worst thing you could do. I'd cry, I would cry as well. The only benefit to that is that it's flat, but like, please don't. Please don't. And it's harder to identify in other situations, but it's a general rule that's very important to follow. Try to avoid it as much as possible, unless you specifically know that it's there, because then you can avoid it. That's fine to split the commitment, that's good. Okay, yeah, that's good, that's good. That's not. Ooh, ooh, I like that a lot. Okay, okay, that. Ooh, that's. You know what? That's okay. You want to extend that, but. Here is what I'd say. Here's what I'll say about this one. Let's set this up. Ooh, purple here. We have a purple up here. We have a purples here. A purples. Wow, I'm good at English. Oh, that's actually not there. It's actually like that. Okay. Where do we have greens? We have greens here. I hope I'm gonna get faster at chain simming stuff because it takes a little while. It's either extend or tail, which is it's a good question to pose. Because usually you're like, oh, you know, try to extend as much as you can on the head so that you have enough of a chain ready. In this case, your chain is ready enough though. So this purple green should have been put here. And the reason I say that, the purple can go here or there depending on your preference at the time. But the reason I say that is because you want to be able to have this higher up now. Otherwise, when you get to extending on top of here, this will be too far down. Like, you'll need to fill in so much space. All the garbage here will be how much space you need to fill in to be able to continue extending on this floor. So work on the tail when it's too low, and work on the base if it's too low. Like, try to even things as much as possible. But otherwise, I really like this build that you have going, because like this tail is one of my favorite tails to build. Like, this is just so nice. Doing it like this is very good. I like it. Let's see if you're able to get out. Okay. Here's where looking at your next pieces would be crucial. Because you have... What is it? How many lines is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have this as well. We have a purple here and a yellow there. That purple yellow should have been discarded. And the reason I say that is because... 1, 2, 3, 4. Green, green, purple. You have a blue-green coming up, right? Which you can use like this. Let's pretend you made that tail. It's nice. You have a blue-green coming up, and then a double blue, which is perfect. That's literally what you need. Then after that, you just plop a blue there, and then you have done your chain. So make things even. Yeah, keep things even when you can. And this one is just look at your next pieces so that you know that you have a better way to get out of this than you'd have expected. Alright, all clear start. I won't really give advice on all clear. Okay, when you make an all clear start, note that I saw that there were 3. So every time you get an all clear start, look at your third piece, because if it's another double, it's preferable to go for that next double. Because then you send garbage to your opponent, which is slightly inconvenient. I wouldn't really say how to build here, because it's just like, it's too complicated. All clear builds are just, they're the most, I'd say counter builds are some of the most improvised chains in the whole game. Even more than like tails and stuff. So you can't really give advice towards them. It's difficult. Too difficult for me to give advice on. Maybe eventually there'll be some like tips you should follow, but for now I just can't give tips on how to play all clear battles. Just try to build a counter. Do your best. Do your best. I had to go AFK. Oh, alright, well, welcome back, welcome back. Actually meant to do 3 chain there after the AC. Ah, I see. It's alright. Yeah, again, splitting commitments. These blues should have been used together so that you could put the blues together. You're splitting the yellow commitment, I guess you would be, but you already have enough yellows right now that you should get your blues done next, rather than doing this. But it's what happened. And then here I'm not sure how you go about building that. It's a thing. That's good, that's good. Oh, yeah, go for it, go for it! Ah! Yeah, and then put the greens, put the greens, put the greens. Yes, very nice, very nice. Yeah, okay. Hey, you had your chain ready, nice, nice. That's good, that was good. I like your decisions there, that was nice. Splitting commitments is when you put 2 similar colors on both sides, possibly risking of chain cuts. It's not particularly because of risking chain cuts. I'll reiterate this point. Here, you have a yellow-blue. Your decision, you can do 2 things. Put it here, or put it here. And the one you want to go for is the second decision. You want to do this. And the reason is because if you do this, you're extending here, right? Getting those blues, and then you need 3 more blues to finish this extension. But at the same time, you're leaving this extension like without anything, so you still need 3 blues here, right? And then here it's blue here and yellow here, which means that you only need 2 blues. And this is like completely open, you can do whatever you want with it. But the main thing is that you want to be making sure that if you have blues on board already, link up these blues with them. Don't put them somewhere else. If you put them somewhere else, you just need even more of that color, right? And they're just away from each other. You need to make sure that you're keep same color pieces together, basically. Keep colors together when you can, because this blue could do a lot here. That's my advice. That's one of the main things you've done throughout these sets. It's having pieces away from each other, which means they can't help each other. That's really what it is. It's like keeping things away from each other so they can't help each other anymore. And then sad. Then they're sad. And they get lonely. Make lonely pieces not lonely. You have 1 single blue, give it more blue so it can be happier. Happy times. Alright. Oopsies. Yeah. These will be all up on the VOD, like, they'll still be around, so that's okay. Next to Puyo! Puyo, Puyo! Hey, what's up, Tilithia? What's up? Welcome to the stream. It's been a little while. How are you doing? Are you excited about the Puyo Champions stuff? All of that? The sappy color. Did your colors get, like, smudged or something? Are they, like, sappy? I don't know. Sappy. I haven't had the word in a while. It's a weird word. I think I just lost the meaning of it. Oh no. I just lost vocab. Oh, hello there, Soul Color. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Excited about Puyo Champions? Nice. Yesterday my family went for a walk for like a mile or 2 and I'm sure feeling the after effects. Oh, like your feet are like sore. Ouch. It's okay. You'll recover. Did you enjoy yourself? My legs are sore? Yes, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. Okay, let's see what you go for here. Depends on what you do next. Good, good. If you didn't do that, I'd be sad. Saw geese and a heron or 2. And northern how do you say that? Harrier? And minnows. And a deer and hummingbird nest. Oh, that's exciting. Nice, nice. Sounds like a good time. That's a good thing you did. Good one. Okay. 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 Yeah. Go for it, go for it. Yeah, you got it. Only advice would be to put that yellow on the 4th column. If you put the yellow on the 4th column, you would have actually extended your chain by 1 link. You didn't need it, but it's fun bit of thing. So you could destroy me even more. Been 8 chain. Why, you've got a hole of the attitude for a minnow. Wait, no. Wrong character. Shh. That didn't happen, guys. I swear. Ooh. Wait, are you G-zeroing on? Wait, which? I don't know where your chain's going. Where's your chain? I think you just didn't know how to build from right to left. Okay, yeah. And then I died, right? Oh. My pieces were really nice. Okay. Yeah, I'll figure out a way to show you, like, how to go from right to left there. No, there could be a tail. I was like, hey, let's do a reversible. I was confused, yeah. It was good, yeah, only my feet were hurting during the walk, but the second I got up, once we got home, my legs were screeching at me. Ow. Well, it's all good. Showing off there? Yeah, alright. It's okay. Let's have a look. So, it's good. I quite like doing this as well. I'd say instead of piling up yellows, make it flatter. So instead go for, oh, I actually thought ahead, but I'll put it like this, and it's easier to work with. Then your next pieces are finish what you have set up here. You have a blue red, you have another blue red, connect your blues and your reds. So go red blue, then you have a red and a purple. You can set up your GTR, you put the red here, oopsies, you put the red there, you put your purple there, and I think you know what to do from there. You can set up your GTR and do whatever you want. So that'll just take practice. Let's see here. As I walk, it's not bad now at the moment, though I did just get up to make a sandwich, so... Oh, you have a sandwich now though, right? Do you like your sandwich? What kind of sandwiches are... Sandwiches are nice. Sandwiches are in Puyo. Showing off to someone who's bullying you? Hey, maybe the bully will be jealous and they'll leave you. Maybe that's what you should do to get rid of bullies. Maybe schools are missing the point. I don't know, have you ever done that before? Bread and chicken? Oh, bread and chicken is good. Do you eat it with mayonnaise? I eat it with mayonnaise. Well, I have it like every now and then when our family's just like, we're lazy. We're just like, okay, let's get some bread, let's get some roast chicken. Let's put it in a sandwich and put mayo on it. And just eat it. Just as is. That's it. It's lunch. It's just lunch. Right? It's lunch. The roast chicken slices because I'm trying to eat healthy and it didn't taste right when I tried it yesterday, so I decided today to add bread to it. Ah, yeah, fair enough. I only eat mayonnaise with tuna. I see. I eat mayonnaise with tuna too. Okay. Paid for insolence. Oh well. You're hungry now? I'm like perpetual hungriness. What are you talking about? Let's see here. Peanut butter and yam. Alright, so that's just what you would do there. I think we'll skip to the end of this one. We don't need to see bullying. Hi there, Red Bun 2300. Welcome to the stream. What's up? Hello there. Oops, let's slow that down. Yes. No? Question mark? Ooh, I don't know what you're trying to go for now. Okay, that'll work. Huh. That backlink is what I'll give you advice on here. Come on. I can totally good at illustrating. This is another thing where it's like, consider where you can tail. Because this is one of the basis points of tailing. It's the fact that not all pieces have to link up to each other straight after each other. Right? So, here it looks like the yellows should come before the blues because the blues are up higher. But the fact of the matter is that it's actually better to link up these blues first and then the yellows afterwards. Like this. And I believe this is... I don't know what exactly the definition for Tanaka special is, but it's something like this. It's where you have stuff underneath and you pop the stuff on top of it and then the top stuff comes down like that. And that's the better way to go about this. What you've done leads into... powering, but there are two flaws. One, you get less links out of it, and if you add more power, it can maybe be more devastating. But this, and also the second thing is that it's not as flat, so you end up with just like an awkward stack as well, or an awkward field. So try to consider using that option when you can. To be fair, if I wanted, I could make grilled cheese. Oh, I mean, you could, right? Most excited about Ali's voice. Oh, right, we haven't heard that yet, have we? Haven't we haven't heard it. So ready for Puyo Puyo Champions? I am super duper ready. I am so excited to see all the new faces. I hope Australia brings some new faces. I know other places for sure. Like, there should be more traction in general, but I want to see more Australian faces. Please, Australians, pick up and give this game a try because you are lame and you don't play puzzle games enough. So. Tanaka's special type chains are great. They are very helpful. You have to learn about that kind of mindset and habit for tail. To not force the next Puyo to chain instead of, and instead chain from the other spot. Yeah, it's a difficult concept to grasp, but it's definitely one of those ones. It's like a fundamental concept when you're starting to get into tailing. So I know tailing might not be your focus right now, but just know it's an option in case you ever think about it and you're like, how can I be more efficient with this? Oh, okay, this is what I can do. Very nice. Excited to play ahead. I'm excited to see everyone. Right, so let's see what you did next. Yeah, and this is another thing about the triple link down here. Having a triple link means that you can't place yellow here at all. Because if you have it here, well, obviously it's gonna be bad. But if you have it on top, it'll also just cut later on. So this is dangerous. This reduces your possibility for cut. It's still possible, but like it's much less likely to cut. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm good at chaining. I think based on the trailer, that Hubby's was gonna be Wendy Lee. Woman is everywhere. Let's go to Tanaka's special. I know Tanaka's special is the one that I see most commonly depicted as this, but I'm not sure if this is like is the concept like you have a piece in column 5 that you use after you have a floor piece. I believe it's also like this as well. If you do it like this, this is a very basic Tanaka special as well. This one, you use this with flat stacking. It's where you have a base piece and you chain on top of it and then connect the base piece. Is that what Tanaka special is? I'm not sure what the exact definition for it is. I was so happy when I made my first Tanaka special. Now it's just normal. Well, I suppose that's a good thing. Except that you can't feel special anymore. Whenever I make like a 13 or a 14 or a 15 in a game, people are just like, oh, Yoshi's doing that again. I'm like, it's still hard to make 14s and 15s in game, and 13s too, and people are just like, wah. I bet when I get a 16, people will just be like, that's normal, isn't it? It's like, no, I've still not made a 16 in a real game. It'll happen soon. I hope. Anyway, what was Tanaka special again? It's where you have a base, then you have something on top that links before the base. So in this case, the greens are the base, you have the blues link up and then the greens. And then the other one you will often see, I think these are the most common examples, is where you're gonna have something like this. Usually you see this in a flat stack. So this one you usually see with sandwich. I'll give you the context. This one you usually see with sandwich, to finish the sandwich. Nice way to do it. And the other one you see with flat stacks usually, because that is literally how we build it. Like this. I believe those are Tanaka special. It's on Puyo Nexus if you ever forget. That's right, it is on Puyo Nexus, except that I'm... well, I mean, if anyone else would like to pull up the page and have a look instead. That's another list on what Puyo form I need to learn. It's a basic table shape. That's really what it is, rather than a form itself. Anyway, that's what it is. Alright, I'll check that when I'm home. Yeah, on Puyo Nexus if you do need to have a look yourself. The names we're using are official at this point in time. As in official within the community, not like Sega said, this is Tanaka special specifically, but, you know. Okay, let's see what you do next. Link up the yellows, good. Link up your blues. Oh, that was scary. Yeah, okay, I figured that was gonna be what happened. This is a nice chain. It works well enough. Oh, that actually ended up not powering. And my chain was bad because I didn't do it properly. Good on you. I got lucky, it's alright. It still counts. What do you do with it though? Yeah. Is sandwiching off of... Something doesn't look right. Is sandwiching off of long GTR a bad idea? What are your guys' thoughts? I always thought it's not good. Boy, oh boy. This is more detailed than the entry on the list of tailing poems? Wait, you're kidding. The GTR page has a more... Oh my gosh. Nice. Thank you for locating the webpage. Alright, so what do you guys think? I have no idea. What about the other guys though? Do you think... I don't know, sandwich just doesn't feel like it's meant to go there. It feels like it's too highly raised. And it's more piece dependent. We'll go back to the side of this. Hold on. Sandwiching off of new GTR isn't bad at all, in my opinion. That's like upside down L shape. Okay, hold on. Here's what I would have done though. And what I feel like would have been better in this situation. The reason why is because... maybe it's just this scenario that it's better not to do it. Because... this is awkward, and no. You have a green purple coming up, right? That's the main thing we're looking at. You have a green purple coming up. How are you going to do this? Or maybe that's the thing that I'm thinking about, but it's harder since there is less room. I thought maybe that was what makes it difficult. Instead, what I think you would go for here is, so we put this purple here with this blue here. This is your board state. Your green blue should have gone across here, because I feel like flat stacking is more natural to do with it. Because you can accommodate a lot more situations. You have blue purple coming up, which you can deal with using this, and then you have a purple green come out, which you can deal with this. After that, you'll finish off by putting blues here and then a green, and that's all good. Whereas with sandwich, you're splitting a lot of things apart, and it's harder to just like form stuff together. Whereas here, it's a lot more together. It's more bunched up. And it works better because sandwich just splits everything. The other thing you can do is be fancy and like do that tail that I like to do with this. I will show it off just as one of those things that you may want to consider or think about. Which are the same word because they're synonymous, but okay, I'm good at English. Green blue. Purple green. I mean, not purple green, not yet. Blue purple. And then you go like purple green after. Whee. And then you do this. I like this tail. This tail's nice. Whee. Whee. Anyway, yeah, that's a fancy thing. No sandwiching off of long GTR is actually not recommended. Most people don't actually say anything like that, but I just considered it just then. I'm like, it's usually, you have less space, it's harder to do. Long GTR is definitely more suited for flat stack or L shape that can go into 3-column tail. I think in general, yeah, new GTR is more designed to accommodate 3-column tails. You have 3 columns, it's more of a U-shaped chain. You do a bunch of stuff here, and then you do a bunch of tail stuff here. Like this is the tail section, and this is just like the head of the chain. And for those of you who are not aware of the terminology, U-shape refers to chains that are they set up such that you have your chain go down first, then something links up, and then it goes up again. So your tail will work afterwards. So in this case, it would be the greens represent the chain going down, and the yellow part is like the tail. It goes back up again, and that's why we call it U-shape. Because it goes down and then it goes up. I mean, technically this part falls down, but like the way it's structured is that like it's more of just that U. What kind of monstrosity am I looking at? It's my good demonstratory skill. Is that a word? Demonstrative skills, I think. Question mark. Anyway, yeah, that just the fact that you have a green purple coming up. You're not. Sandwich doesn't accommodate that, and so you end up with that awkward looking shape, which I always don't like. Yep, it's fine. I think you just got a bit stuck here. Yeah, I started harassing you and then it's mean. Oh no, I was just clearing stuff. Okay. Or maybe I was just spamming one chains. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. It's hard to get out of that situation. That's a good 3-chain though. Pressuring your opponent like that is good. Oh, my chain cuts are bad. Oh, wait, I was gonna say the 6th column cuts, but that was just a harassment anyway. Nice. My phone is sadly low on battery, so I'm gonna recharge it. Alright. Fair enough. Hi Shard, welcome to the stream. What's up? I think you know, I make that misspell too. I misspell should as well like that, so I instantly knew that was should because I do that as well. Oh, it's great. It's great. I try to do a more in-depth analysis like this sometime. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I like one of the reasons I do this, or like that I've found that it's really nice to do this is that it lets you think about some really core fundamental concepts. When you look at high-level play, you're looking at like harass exchanges, but sometimes going back to just like, is this form okay to use? It's like, there's a whole range of fundamentals that we can tackle and that like we can go into more depth with that we wouldn't have thought of otherwise, and so we should open our minds to these sorts of things because as a whole it might just improve our entire gameplay. It's very good. I'm on my phone. I make that typo when I'm on my phone, but then my phone's always like, hey, I'm gonna autocorrect it, which is one of the times where autocorrect is actually helpful. I still need help on my Puyo. Well, I can help you at some point. With no on. What? With not on? With not. Huh? Wait, sorry. What were you trying to say? Yoshi, do you want to play PPTPC tomorrow? At this time? Maybe at this time, yeah. I'll need to let you know when I'm home from work, but I'll just like to send a message in the Discord or something when I'm home. Yeah, one of the... Wait, did I get my work schedule yet? I haven't received my work schedule yet. Oh, I'm guessing they'll just send it out tomorrow then. Sometimes they send me the work schedule on the day I'm working, it's great. But it's not an official job anyway, it's casual employment, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'll let you know if I'm available tomorrow. I'm fixing my English, it's okay, English is difficult. Let's see what you do here. Ooh, that's always scary. Yep, okay. If you fill it out with a double... I won't criticize that. I'll show you how you can deal with this if you do decide to do this, but in general you want to avoid this at any cost. Because I feel like most people will do something bad out of this. It's rough. Yellows and reds, so we've got yellows here, you have reds here. You have green, yellow coming up. You can deal with this like this. And again, this is more like indirect chaining stuff where it's like, oh, you're not meant to use your greens yet, you're meant to use them later. And then it works. This is fine. This is okay. But this is only if you thought of doing it this way. But otherwise, this decision is... it's rough. It's very hard to make stuff out of this that'll work properly. Because this green would most likely be wasted, and I feel like most people would go for something like, oh, I need to put my yellows together, then I need to put my reds here, or I can do my... This would just... But this is dangerous. Again, you're not making use of the green here, you've got a gap here, and this, you can't do anything with the back end of the chain, so this is, in general, try to avoid this. Because I've seen this before. It's not the first time I've seen this, but it's scary. I can also play the day after tomorrow, or on the weekend, obviously. Oh, yeah. If I'm not available tomorrow, then the day after tomorrow would probably be good. I sadly need to go for a bit, so be right back. Oh, yeah, alright. I'll continue doing this, so you can look back on the VOD whenever you've returned. I'll also be around for another, like, 24 minutes or something. Or maybe I'll look at the rest of the set, I don't know. Usually I go to sleep. Again, school is finally starting again, so I might be occupied with work. From school and such, and also I want to make sure that my sleep schedule doesn't get ruined. So I'll be heading off from streams at 9:30, and then I'll be sleeping at like 11ish. So you can still get to me in like within the hour, or hour and a half ish. But I hop off streams in 24 minutes. Let's see here. And dying internally? What? No, I'm not dying. Why would I be dying? Come on. I would jump to that conclusion. That's so dramatic. Okay. So what do you do? Okay. You lean the greens up directly, which is, you know, that's... it could be worse. Yeah, here's the thing about making triple links. Oh, not triple links, but like links that are made out of 3 on your base. Like this is so easy to cut, and it's really hard to make chains out of now. It's like you can't put green here, because if you put a green here, you're gonna have to put a buffer piece here, which isn't blue, and it's like blah 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 blah. Went away, we're all dying internally. No. No. We're growing. We only start dying when we're old. Changed my mind. Anyway, this is hard to deal with. The only buffer piece you can really put is... I guess you can put yellows or reds, but like... Okay. But also your cells are dying quite a bit. Yeah, but the new life and stuff, so... It's... Shush. Is 10 chain good for a newbie like me? You know, if you're new to the game and you made a 10 chain, I would be very, very, very impressed. 10 chain? It depends. Chain length and like skill levels are hard to judge. Like saying 10 chain for newbie would be very impressive, but it just depends on what kind of skill you're aiming for. I died. Oh, well, let's hope you ever get revived. They're getting replaced, yes, but no. Shh. What you want? The study of Yoshi or something? 10 chain 9 Puyo. 10 chain 9 Puyo. Oh, not 4 wide. Go away. No 4 wide. No 4 wide. You know, if there was like a Yoshology or something, it would not be 4 wide. It would not be 4 wide. Because I despise 4 wide. Anyone who has watched me for like the past few months maybe, or past year or so, knows that I hate 4 wide. Anyway, yeah, that just got difficult to extend. But my chain is... Oh, my yo-yo is bad. Oh, my battery died, that's okay. I'll just go ahead and connect up my Joy-Cons while I charge my thing, because I'm not playing at the moment, so I can just use Joy-Cons. Let me connect this up and charge it. Plug. There you go. It's charging now. Grab the Joy-Cons. 4 wide is terrible indeed. 4 wide is too wide. Too much gap. You know, I never said I don't like holes, but like 4 wide is a bad one. I do 4 wide with bots. Am I evil? Yeah, bots have feelings too, you know. Low battery. That was rough. Okay. These need a charge too, apparently, for some reason. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Oh. Just AFK for a bit there, I suppose. Why is it still got... Why does it keep reversing its speed? What the... That's weird. Might be stick drift or something. I'm not sure what to say here. I haven't... Again, like, I'm not very... familiar. Like, I stopped using new GCR a while ago, so... Sometimes I'm, like, iffing... Or, like, iffy about what you should do with it, but, like, here I just know it just better. There's another split commitment. There is another split commitment. So... Purple green. This purple... Yeah, purple's down here that need finishing. So, in this case, another basic example, purple, don't put it here, put it here. Finish the link that you already have rather than committing to a new link. Actually, Yoshi, I guess if we played, we would only have to analyze on the weekend instead. Would have to analyze. Oh, I guess if we played, we would have to analyze on the weekend. I said like we would do it together. I mean, it's possible. It's definitely an option. But yeah. Oh, do you mean that you wanted your stuff analyzed? I can do that too. That is an option. You can analyze my gameplay for me and tell me everything I'm doing wrong. Alright, let's have a look. Want to play as well? Alright, fair enough. Oh, maybe I should just open up a Twitter post where people can ask for analyses. And then I'll like schedule them or something. I should like plan out dates and stuff for when it's possible. Welcome back. Yes, that's good, thank you. Yes, good. Oh. Okay, that's fine. Yep, that's good. Good. I would say maybe put the yellows at the back, but that's just up to you. That one's like... Maybe. It'd be cool if we were both analyzing our set. It would be... It could be nice. Collabing with you is nice. No, that's not the setup right now. It's that. No, I won't criticize this one. I think this one's okay. At this point, this is where I say don't do that. Reason being is that you're just making it easier to cut those purples. Those purples were perfectly fine as is, but by doing that, you can now cut it really easily by having a purple here. So instead, you just connect it up here and clear these purples later. Like, just clear these purples. You eventually still want to get to this yellow that you kept in the bottom right corner, but you have to clear the purples first. Instead. Let's have a look. You know who else I'd like to collab with? Like Raikon, I've streamed with Raikon before, but maybe doing an analytical session with him would be fun. I think Shining Bolt and DDR Dan would be really good people to analyze with. They're really good to talk about this sort of stuff. I should ask them at some point if they want to go through some stuff. May take a while for me to catch up. No problem. Totally decimated. You know, as long as it's a good learning experience. The purples that you're putting together right now, it's easy to cut because you've linked them up now. Also, I was just mean and sent you 2 rocks as a harass, so... Yeah. Ow. Okay. You used to do this a lot, and I think my recommendation is to flat stack. Put your purples here instead. Because what you can do with this is you have a red purple coming up, you can do this, and then you have 2 options. This is a tough one to commit to, but go red purple here. I know I talked about splitting commitments, but this is, I think, safer. I'll be back in a second. Alright, let's have a look. Need to make that habit out when I make a GTR. I think, I'll let you know the main reason. It's because... Also, hello everyone again. Sorry if I scared you. Because of the height difference thing again. It's very hard to fill up this hole. Which is not good. Huge mistake and lack concentration that cost me a whole set 2 times in a row midstream. It's rough. It's hard to get your concentration back after you've lost it, but it's important to be able to do so. And it's just a matter of training your mind. Ooh, brain training. Spent 2 hours just to get a 10 chain Puyo yesterday. I only know the 10 technique. Hey, you know what? It's better than nothing. At least you're working on something. Wish I could do the 10 faster. I did make huge mistakes. Agreed to miscalculation. It's okay. It's okay. You'll get better with time. Bad Puyo player proved me wrong. Hey. Bad is the wrong word. It's inexperienced. That's what you are. You just don't have enough experience yet. Alright, where's the thing? During the Pro League? Oh, I see, I see. Oh, here's an all clear. Did you see the all clear? Oh no, you were right there. You were right there, you were right there, you were right there. You would have won. I think you would have won. How much garbage? 3 lines. Yeah, I probably would have lost. Oops. That's okay. It's okay. Here's up to you where you split the commitment. It works either way. I think transition is the safer way to go. That did answer my question. Alright. Alright. Oh. Are you gonna like make a backwards chain or something? Ooh, you're doing the thing again where you're just like setting out, where you're linking up pieces that are unnecessary to link up. But this is the thing though, like when you link these up, if you have a bubble here or here, it's very easy to cut. Good if you want to cut your chain, but usually you wouldn't want to, so just try to avoid, again, these like 3s in your base. 10-8 game and I got into the lead a lot. Then I just fumbled and... Wow, I see. Right. Don't understand. I'm bad at getting high chains, but I always get all clears, not missing even one. Oh, I suppose that has its merits at times. Alright. Let's see how you build this. Ah, yeah, just said channel. Fair enough. This is really one of the big benefits of multiple stacking. Perhaps I should have showed Raikon. Like, I've been trying to... He's been wondering how to, like, make better chains, and his second floor gives him a lot of trouble, but, like, if you're setting up lots of horizontal stacks of 3, this is just a general tip that I'm going to throw out there. I'm not going to go into too much detail, we'll do it another time, but, if you can see the way I've set up my stacks of 3, that's a very effective way to make sure that you can, like, you can easily cut your chain at any length. Just like the concept of universe, and it's also easy just to have it be part of your main chain. You can do crazy stuff like this. Next one. Oh, okay. Yeah, creating these high differences mean you need to split your pieces quite a bit. Wait, when did you put a green there? Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, it was there, that's okay. That's... This you need reds there as well. Yeah, I don't know. I think reconsidering just the whole setup itself would be the main thing. Yeah, that's what I would have gone for. That's alright. Just try to clean this up. Oh. Okay. Huh, looks like you blocked yourself from standing there. And that's one of the things. Setting up, having 3s, easy to cut your chain. Think you forgot? There's some trouble there, it is quite some trouble. Oh, whoops. I was pressing A to continue. Alright, let's see here. Yes, don't split your commitments. Clear that, clear that. When you have situations like that, it's important not to be scared of clearing things. Because it'll put you in a way better position than if you didn't clear it. So, because you have a blue-yellow coming up, you can fix that with your GTR up after you clear the double yellows. But if you end up with that and you have a double piece, clear it as soon as you can. Because you'll want to. Like, even things out. Because otherwise you end up with that. Yeah, that should have been cleared a while ago. Also that. Okay, looks like there was just a fair amount of missed drops and such here. That's very hard to extend. It's a nice thought, but you'll find that like it's hard to extend such a thing. I feel like how you linked up the blues though, that's quite nice. It's good. Should have cleaned that? Yeah. Clean up is the most feared part of many activities, such as eating. Because, you know, washing the dishes, but sometimes it's necessary to do it early. Or just at all, because some people miss it entirely. Yep, that's fine. I would've... Okay, this one's a bit of a tough one to realize, but again, you need to get your yellows together so that you can finish that link before you make more links. So, I would have gone for, as weird as it is, it's because of your next pieces that you can handle this situation just fine. Purples, and then greens, you have a red-yellow, right? So I would have put this red here and this yellow here. And again, you don't need to be scared of putting more pieces on top, if you have the pieces to deal with that. Because you have a purple-red, so you can go purple here, and you put a red here. And then you have a red-green, which can help you finish this. And what that does is also, you have, inadvertently, pushed yourself to get these in place, so that you have an extra extension, right? So that would have been the way to go, I think. First time I did that kind of tail successfully. Oh. Nice stuff there. It was good, Oh, that oh. Yeah, you're blocking yourself off with that. That should have... The green purple, I think, first column is preferable. What about the other four columns? Oh, which one? If you set up like that? Hold on. Where are we? Oh, what point? Do you know what, like, piece you're referring to? Like this one? Commented too late? Wait, here? If you put it in the other 4 columns, this is the main thing that Riodile needs to work on. It's you're splitting stuff up. So the problem is, you can make this work. It's just if you have a yellow here, it's better just to have the if you mean do you mean the whole setup stuff like that I showed you just before? Well, at that point it's just figuring out what will work for you, because you can do this and everything. What was it again? Something like this. By then you would realize that you need to set up your base, and you can do like L shape or something. There's no blue here. Whoops. You can L shape or something. Do this. It will just continue the rest of the chain just fine, like that. For example, this is actually a really nice chain. Ooh, this would be so nice if you could actually do this. But yeah, you can just fill in the rest with the rest of your chaining knowledge. Unless you mean the actual decision itself. If you make that decision, you can still make it work. You can probably do like L shape out of it, perhaps. With the red yellow, hold on. What would I have done if I had made that decision? Red purple and red green. Yeah, that's also a bit just yucky to do. Red green. You put the green here. You put the red there? It depends on what link you want to finish fast. Again, just a bit awkward though. The green-red you could put here, I guess. Splitting a lot of pieces across the board though. You want to finish as much as you can at the same time rather than setting up too many different commitments. Yeah, and then that just became a bit questionable. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's okay. Put the greens together. I would have said put that in column 6 because you're already setting up greens together. Gotcha. Good, good. Oh. Yeah, there's where... Again, this is one of those things that you'll have to develop with time, but being able to make sure that the opponent is not setting off their whole chain, and that you have time to make decisions like that. Go for extra extensions. Alright, I think I'll finish this set then. It's 9:29. It is okay. Good, good. Oh, splitting commitments, part X. This one's a bit more indirect, so I don't blame you. Blue, blue, yellow, yellow. This blue-green probably would have most benefited if you have gone blue here and green here. The extra thing that adds on to this is that you have a red-green coming up, which means you can completely finish this easily. And that groups all your greens together. If you put your green down here, then again, you need 3 greens here and 3 greens here, eventually. Which again is a lot to ask for. So yeah, just try to make sure you're linking everything up as early as possible. Alright, let's see how you do with that. Yeah. Again, another case of this is here. That red-green, you have a red here that's waiting to be completed. And you've already completed this green, so you don't need to add any more extensions here, you need to work on the base. And so I would have said green-reds go here. And then you have another green-red, which I'm guessing you're going to pile on, when instead, you could have just been finishing the back end of your chain, right? So, keep in mind what... I think this is the thing, you're trying to move forward too much before you're backfilling and remembering to finish everything that you've already set up. So make sure you finish everything that you have so far, then move on. If possible. If you're given the opportunity, then do it. Yep. Good. Alright. And then set up my chain. What am I doing? Oh. I goofed my chain there. I don't know what I was doing. Huh, never mind. Looks like I wasn't able to get that. Okay. Yeah, link those together. It is a bit difficult to realize what you have to do with that. I'm guessing 2 stairs from here. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you have the right idea. Definitely. This is definitely one of those things that people building cushions is very good skill to acquire. So having these blues down here, you realize that you could use the blues before the greens instead of just linking directly to the greens, which is very good. So yeah, try to keep that up as well, having stuff on top of your transition before you reach that transition. Here it's just that I harassed you and you weren't ready. So, you had the right idea though. Right, that's a second set. So there's 2 sets, 2 first 10 sets that I've just looked through. for the most part, I think that's the main thing to work on. Avoid splitting commitments. There isn't really anything that's like consistently coming up that I'm seeing just yet. There might be, but that's a huge one. I think if you focus on that one, I guess the other minor thing which I also told Polkadalga to do, although Polkadalga's was much more specific, it's just maintaining your build height. Make sure that like things are as flat as they can be, so that it eases the requirements for the pieces you need to continue your chain. And one specific one that comes up quite a bit with yours, it seemed, was doing this. This is bad because you have a 2 height difference, which may be hard to work with. Polkadalga's was just doing this, I think, with just a 1 height difference, and then just like adding stuff on top and stuff. It was bad, but you know what? That's okay. It's a learning experience. We're all learning to get through things. So hopefully that was beneficial, and that, like, you know, you'll be able to, that it helps you to improve and whatnot. And yeah, I hope it helped the rest of you guys as well alongside Riodile. These sessions are always good to look into these sorts of options that you might not have considered outside of this, or these streams, or like, I don't know, these sessions was the word I was going to go for. If any of you other guys are interested in this, well, let me know now as well. Try to like maybe contact me somewhere and we can set something up. Otherwise, I think Crocodile? Oh, I didn't call you Crocodile actually, I called you Riodile. I've been calling you Riodile the whole time, but yeah. Might not be clear. I don't know. Is my voice? Is it unclear the way I'm saying? Perhaps it is. I might send up a Twitter post tonight then and ask people if they want some analyses, or maybe I should do it in the morning. I don't know. I've always wondered like what peak time for Twitter is in terms of like stuff I want to send out. Because if it's something like this, then I'm trying to engage with a Western audience. So should I send it out in the morning? Because that's like daytime. Or if I send it out at night, they might look in the morning when they wake up and they'll be like, oh, here's the video she was posting like a few hours ago. I don't know. And then just for general screenshots and stuff, I'm like, okay, sending it off at night, because sometimes Japanese players also catch on to it. I'm not sure. When would be perfect? Happy to play with you again next time. Sounds good. Maybe I just misheard things, perhaps. I can only play at night or weekend. Fair enough, fair enough. Just let me know whenever, and then we'll see if we can work out a time. And we'll work out how many people are interested too, so that we can sort things out. Oh, now I receive my schedule. Oh, okay, I'll be working until 7:30. Might be able to get, again, Tuesdays are always like question mark whether I can stream or not. Because my preference would be to stream Smash on that day, since I only get a little bit of time, and Smash is kind of just like, I can pull out and play it for a little bit and not have to worry. Very casual, even if we're trying to get better at the game. It's still like a casual environment, really. Mostly available on weekend due to internship work. I see, fair enough. Keep working on those points for now though, and then whenever you're ready to move on, or you think I can check up on like what I asked you to improve on, and then if you've fulfilled those requirements, then maybe we can move on to the next step and see what you're doing wrong next. But yes, remember I still have your commission? Yeah, that's right. How are those going, if I may ask? In general, I saw your second commission got super, not super, got, well, why did I get super? I completed, the second commission got completed, so that's pretty exciting stuff. Seeing your Arkham is like so exciting, it's so nice. I don't know, I just really like the way you do it. The style is really suited. Alright, but with that, let's see, what are our plans for the week? I'm trying to get back on stream schedule. But that's difficult, because today was actually meant to be Mother 1 day. But, like, it's not. So, maybe tomorrow if I have time I'll play Mother 1 instead of Smash. And then Wednesday I'll play Smash and Puyo. If I get more time on Wednesday, then I'll play Smash and Puyo on that day and play Mother tomorrow. But that depends on if I get time tomorrow. I want to keep playing Mother though, it's good. Splatoon I'll play at some point. Some point, I suppose. Still have fun. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated on what will be happening next. Restball, thank you. process on the third one, but I might have to sketch the others too now. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Third one has so much detail. I mean, it's difficult to say. I always wondered if that was a good thing for artists, a good thing or a bad thing, because if you don't give enough detail, they're like, it might not come out correctly, and they won't have enough direction for it. But then if they give too much detail, it's like, well, then you know exactly how everything's meant to look out, but then is it too much on your hands? So, I don't know. It's tough. See you for now. Have a good night. Yeah. Okay, I'll head off now. As I mentioned, I'll be around on the Discord for like an hour to an hour and a half-ish, depending on when I get to sleep. And so I'll be around. Feel free to contact me. Before we head off, let's check for people to host, because that's a nice thing to do. Something I've been trying to do more often. And don't forget you can go back and like rewatch any point, because the VOD will be up on Twitch, and if you don't like Twitch, it's a weekly upload weekly, so I'll do my YouTube instead. Alright, categories. So I'm streaming to esports. Oh hey, hold on a minute. Wait. Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do this. This is someone who I happen to recognize the name of from the international Puyo Discord. Turn as highlights to Twitch when remove the archive. Oh no, what I do instead is I upload it to YouTube. So I'll leave it on Twitch for about a week. Then all the streams that I've kept for that week, I upload to YouTube, because YouTube is a permanent place. So it will always be somewhere. It just depends on the amount of time that you want to leave before you look back at it. Anyway, STP Fox is the name. We'll go ahead and host them because, you know, I happen to know that. They're on the international Discord, which is super cool. So you guys go give them some support. Let's have a look. YouTube's better? Fair enough. Oops. Let's hope it hosts correctly. But for now, I'll be heading off. So as always, I hope you all have a great rest of the day or night. Love you guys, and I will see you all later. Good night.